For my final presentation, I wanted to do it over Ken Chenault, who was the American Express CEO. So I'm just going to do some background information about him and then just get some details. He was born in Minneola, New York, which is by Long Island. He was the third of four children, and his parents worked in the dental industry. He was in Long Island, New York. He was raised in a mostly black community. He attended a private school, and then he later went to Bowdoin College in 1973, and then went to Harvard Law School. Um, he later got married because he found his love at Harvard Law School, and then his wife's name is Kathy, and then she ended up being a lawyer. Um, Ken began his career as an associate at the law firm at Rogers Wells in 1977 to 1979 in New York City. And then he was later a consultant at Bain & Company in 1979 and 1981. Chenault joined American Express in 1981, and he's working, and he was part of like the strategic planning group. I got assigned to this because in a video I watched, they said they were in a ton of like financial trouble, and then he was the one who's supposed to get them all out of it, and which eventually he did, and saved them a lot of money and take them out of their hole. He later became the president and the chief operating officer in 1997, and he eventually became the CEO of American Express in 2001. In 1995, Ebony listed him as one of the 50 living pioneers in the African community. Ken Chenault was inducted into the Junior Achievement U.S. Business Hall of Fame in 2002, and then in 2008 he gave the commencement address at Howard University. As the CEO of American Express in 2007 and 2008, Chenault earned a total compensation of $50,126,585 and $42,752,461, respectively. In 2016, Chenault also earned a total compensation of $22 million. On October 18th, 2017, he announced that he would retire as the chairman and the chief executive. On February 1st, 2018, he was later succeeded by Stephen J. Swear. In my opinion, I feel like his best leadership styles was that he used the path goal theory as well as the behavioral approach to leadership. I feel like the path goal theory also fits him very well because like some of the videos I watched, it was showing him like all of his workers, they all said the same thing around like how he wasn't like, he just told you how things were supposed to be done. Like he would just lay it out for you. He didn't sugarcoat things, even if you didn't want to hear it. He was a super nice guy, don't get me wrong, but he just gave you all information you need, and like he guided you. That's why I said path goal theory. He literally guided you to, like he gave you the path, and then he told you the goal, and then he made it super easy for you to find it as long as you just follow his instruction. I would say the behavioral approach is also another thing too, because his energy alone was just really, really good. Like another thing I would say right here is he later did a show with on CBS called CBS Sunday Morning, and on his last day, you could just tell how much employees loved him. Some of his workers even said with quotes like he was celebrity, a hero, and an amazing leader. Like people literally looked at him celebrity. In the video on CBS Sunday Morning, there's just people taking selfies with him, pictures, like everyone's wanting to get a picture with him. Obviously, because he's super rich, but at the same time, fantastic leader. One female worker was being interviewed, and he stood up and said that he stood up for multiple hours and made sure to greet every single person who worked at that company and was present in the building at that time. You could easily tell he's super, like he cared. Like that's the main point. Like he really, really, really cared. That's why it's like behavioral approach. Like he went off that because you got to get, especially employees, you got to make like that instant connection. You got to like have a building relationship with them, and you can just tell like his employees just loved him. At the time of retirement, he was one of the 4 African American men to run a Fortune 500 company in the world. And even that alone is a pretty huge accomplishment, especially back then. He was also referred to as the gold standard of CEO leadership. That means by Warren Buffett. And that means if you get called that, like you obviously are a fantastic leader because Warren Buffett's one of the most richest men ever, and obviously he's a great investor and a huge leader, and obviously he's very successful. So obviously people take what he has to say very hardly. And he's also very good friends with Warren Buffett, and as he owns the most shares of the American Express company. Overall, I feel like Ken Chenault was a fantastic leader. Again, he wild behavioral approach. He's super nice and friendly. That's why everyone just loved him again. Treated like a celebrity. And then, yeah, I feel like Pat Theory is also another thing too because he just guided his employees to where they needed to go, whether they wanted to hear or not. But again, I didn't see any videos or any discussions about where people saying he was like mean or nasty. So obviously he was doing a really good job. And yeah, I'm glad I did it over him.